Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 83 of Two Left Thumbs, your source of weekly gaming news and updates. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the DualSense haptics to let you feel what rain feels like in a game. Epic announces an Unreal Engine 5 with a stunning PlayStation 5 demo. Ghost of Tsushima is looking outstanding. Epic Game Store offers a partial refund if you've bought a game and it goes on sale. And after grinding all weekend, Destiny 2 players find a quest-breaking bug. We also have the best weekly deals from a range of publishers across all gaming platforms. Remember, if you are listening now, do not forget to share the podcast. Give us a rating if you want, as it helps us grow and reach more people. My name is Gray as a Gamer, and joined with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Def Puppies.
Hi, how are you, man? You've how have you been? Are you surviving? You were you were a bit dead last week. You sounded a lot like Stormy for some reason. It was bizarre.
Yeah, I was super crook. Very, very sick. Still on the recovery path. I'd say I'm about 80% better. So if I do end up coughing, I'm trying to mute and I've got everything set up. So it should be okay.
That nice raspiness to your voice right now. It's kind of sexy.
It's
like ladies and gentlemen, what's going on?
The packet of cigarettes a day and a carton of VB voice like the following day.
Aussie growl.
Classic. Yeah, I don't want to go back to those days, but it was a rough week. Not a normal cold by any sense. Just a really bad cough and chills and fevers and in bed and out of bed. It's just it wasn't good. Luckily though, I was able to play some Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
I'm assuming that being down, you would have had some spare time to put a few more hours in. How was it? Where are you up to?
I did. Where am I up to? You know what? I don't know where I'm up to because that game is damn ridiculously huge. Like, it's disgustingly huge. I would say it is way too big.
It is. That's the problem I had as well. Like, I went through and because I did the story and then the DLC, which I still haven't finished. I still got one DLC thing to go, and it was just so much, man. And there's like so much that I've missed too. Like, I haven't done a perfectionist run in the slightest. And there's just like it's wild.
It's it's painful that it is so big because there is a lot to do in there, but the issue is that because there is so much to do, it drowns out the really good stuff. And because they force you to do that stuff, because they level gate the shit out of you for main quests, they worked out a very tricky way to stop you from playing the damn game the way you want. It just really bogs you down a little bit, which I don't know. It's not. I'm fine at the moment because I'm not playing it for any particular reason other than just to enjoy playing a video game. I'm not playing it for a stream. I'm not playing it for a review. I'm not playing it for a video. Nothing. It's just I'm just playing it from start to finish, and I am enjoying it. Combat feels a bit. It feels floaty, which is kind of annoying. I want it to be more hard hitting, which I know they've said they're going to address in Valhalla, which is this year's AC.
Yeah,
which would be great because it's
you kind of now that it didn't like I get registered. You get a registered hit, and then it's like, okay, there was a registered hit, but you didn't like there wasn't you didn't feel it. There was no weight to it.
There's no fucking oomph to it. Like, you don't see the enemy react to it. It's like, man, I just hit you with this gigantic golden club in the side of the head, and you're just nothing.
What?
Like,
was that?
I just saw extra damage numbers pop up, and I was like, come on. It's like you could have gone and given me something a bit extra there, because the combat is good. I do like enjoying. I enjoy how they've mapped it, kind of Dark Souls like, to the shoulder buttons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the abilities and stuff like that. It's definitely mad. It is definitely not an Assassin's Creed game. That's for sure.
Very different from the originals.
So far. And I remember, like, as I think I said last time, the last one I played was, really Unity. So yeah, I've still got that old style of Assassin's Creed in my head, which I think I kind of prefer. I prefer that, like, The other thing that's getting to me is the parkour. I'm not enjoying. It's too easy. The old games were very. You had to remember the levels. Yeah, you had to remember the world maps the best you could because there were routes through there. There was no just hold forward and fucking scale a building and scale a cliff and there you go. You're on the other side. It took you actually had to work out. Yeah, you had to parkour your way around. There were certain objects that you could grab onto, certain ones you couldn't. Things would speed you up and others would slow you down. And that really fed really well into the rhythm of the game, especially when you get in intense chases or really good single player, the mission structures where you really had to go in and assassinate someone, and they gave you these cool parkour ways to get in and get out and stuff like that. And I feel
I think
Odyssey lost that.
3 did that the best. That was the one set in colonial America.
Definitely.
And like through the trees, and like you had the different paths, and like you could still kind of see the paths, but they were very naturally in the world. They blended in really well. It wasn't like, here is path, follow this. It was just kind of, these are your options if you look for them.
No, you're dead right. That and I do remember 3, it feeling more organic, but still having that really cool parkour, style to it, like the way you could run through the trees and do all the stuff, and it'd link up really well.
Yeah,
I feel now it is just. Man, you just hold forward to win.
It's walk, yeah. The combat's better, but the parkour kind of lacked. Yeah, and then I think with Odyssey as well, there wasn't a lot there for those parkour ports. It didn't really fit in that well unless you're in the major cities. So I can see why it was kind of dropped off a little bit. I'm really hoping with Valhalla that we're going back to like more natural, like more bushland, not more bushland, but more like forest and stuff like that. We're going to see something closer to 3s. As far as the fluidity in the world, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. And I also miss the stealth aspect of the game. I am pretty much role playing this game as like fucking Brad Pitt's Achilles off Troy. That's all. I'm just a warrior, man. I don't stealth anything. I just bash people on the head. I've got it on the hardest difficulty it can go, and it always keeps putting fucking enemies 2 levels above me, which is fine. It's okay when it's that, but it's when you get the fucking bounty hunters as well that can just 2-shot you. It's just like, all right, that's it makes it hard. So I'm enjoying that challenge to the combat.
Yeah, the Spartan kick becomes your best friend, especially on cliffside. You just kick everybody off. You're like, Sparta! Every time.
I feel like that is so... I do. I use it. I abuse the hell out of that thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's broken, though. It's so easy. Like, I was kicking people off the... like that were like 5-10 levels higher than me. I was kicking them off cliffs.
Yeah.
I wandered into an area I wasn't supposed to, and I was like, man, that's...
Off you go.
Just fucking yeet off. And... I don't understand the whole in the water. The naval combat one. I'm enjoying the naval combat. It's not as good as Black Flag, only because they're limited, obviously, by the technology of the era. You can't have cannons and better projectiles and stuff like that, like they did with Black Flag.
Yeah, they just kind of put it in for the sake of, it's an Assassin's Creed game. This worked really well in Black Flag and everyone loved it, so we're just putting it in every game now because we kind of have to, because if we don't, someone will be upset about it.
Oh, but definitely.
It just feels stuck in there. Like, if it was just travel, that'd be cool. You collect resources or whatever, but that would also be kind of boring. But it also means you could kind of work your way around shrinking that map a bit too, which is huge.
The map is...
It's scary, man.
Speaking of the map...
to travel places.
Yeah, speaking of the map, I've seen, I forget, someone tweeted out last week about Valhalla being much smaller map size. And I was like, yes. Along with everyone, I think. Like, how fucking good is that? Finally, they're listening. Don't have to do this gigantic over-the-top map and just fill it to the brim with shit. And then they come out today and they go, no, this is actually bigger than Odyssey.
It's bigger.
Yeah, prepare yourself for that.
But they did say it wasn't like just the main map. Like, there's like the main map, which is like Norway and England. And then there's other levels which they can't talk about yet. So I'm assuming, I'm going to make a wild assumption, that's going to be like something to do with the gods. It's a separate area that is contributing to that size. So
yeah, it could well be.
Maybe, I hope, as long as it's like not too bloaty, Like, there's a balance with open world. If they're going to be big, they've got to be full, but they can't be too bloaty. It's a real fine balance to kind of strike. And honestly, I'd rather see a smaller map with more stuff. I'd
rather see a smaller map and a smaller game. It is too big. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is too big by about a third, maybe. It's ridiculously huge, and it's just
some of those islands you visit once for one thing, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a side quest that you may go there once or twice, and that's it. It's like, oh, okay. Like, each island will have its own little set of like a tower to unlock or landmarks to unlock or something to unlock there. There'll be 2 or 3 things there to do, but generally there's like one side quest on a lot of those smaller islands. You're like, okay, I traveled like half an hour to get here, and there's 4 things to do. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, you can fast travel once you get unlocked, but
yeah, so I've done a few. I don't think I've really come across any meaningful side stories yet. Nothing that's really kind of stood out. The only one that kind of stood out was the little girl. I think she's on one of the pirate islands. So you've got to help her go get some jewels and some dirt or some shit like that. And it's like,
oh yeah, I think I remember that one. Yeah,
she makes her own friends like out of clay because she's got no one. Her parents
died. That one was.
And her dying wish was like, go make some friends. And this is like, and you got the choice. It's like, can you be an asshole, or do you go along with it?
Yeah, there's a few of those.
That's the only one so far for me that has stuck out at all.
There's a few of those little hidden gems in there. Like, I think there's one with a town that you've got to save, and like just interacting with the township. There's a whole like section of side missions for it. I think it's like a quest of like 6 or 7, and it's just all this weird shit going on, and it is hilarious.
Right. I'm happy with those. Give me those experiences. But I mean, I didn't. I've done that many of the shitty ones where it's like, can you, good sir, go fetch my sword for thou? It's like, fuck off, really? You go to the blacksmith dude. It's like, all right, yeah, I need this dude's sword. And the guy's like, well, I need flowers first. You better go pick me some fucking red flowers from over on that hill, bring it back here, and then I'll give you the sword. It's like,
yeah, there needs to be an acceptable fetch quest to side quest ratio, because the side quests and fetch quests we have to segment them because fetch quests are shit. You can have 1 or 2 and that's okay, but if they outweigh the side quests, it's like, why?
I feel like they Assassin's Creed as a series had an issue with some of the quests. One of the old quests that used to be in there heaps. They fucking had it in there as a staple. Was the tailing people. Remember when you always had to tail someone?
Oh, that was always obnoxious.
Oh, and you had to stay within a fucking certain range. They would stop and have a smoke and talk for 5 minutes, and then they'd keep plotting on as you either walk along the roof or, blend in. And it's just like, these are the worst. Like, and I feel like they've given up those. I haven't come across one yet, I don't think, so far, which is good. But they've replaced it with, go get me all this fetchy stuff for reasons.
Yeah.
Other than just pads the game out.
I know we're talking a lot of Assassin's Creed here, but I need to know, have you tried any of the community-made ones yet?
No, I've seen them on there, but I haven't.
Some of them are most of them are pretty but there. I think there was one I found. It was an absolute cracker. There was like a guy pretending to be was it a manticore, I think, and he fell in love with a bull statue. And he had to reunite him with this bull statue so he could marry it. It was really fucking weird, but it was really, really cool to see just community weird community shit in there. I
can see that would be interesting. There would be some cool ones in there. I turned it off. I disabled it because I hate having a super dirty HUD with just so much going on. Like that map,
that's fair.
My brain when you open it up and it's just waypoints and dot points and question marks and all this shit to go see. It's like, fuck. But other than that, I don't think I haven't been playing much. I have not. What about you? What have you got into this last week?
This last week, what did I get into? I continued on with Uncharted 3. I'm almost done. I think I'm in the last couple of missions there. I'm up to the desert part.
Oh yeah,
so I'm fairly close.
Fell out of the plane.
Yeah, just fell out of the plane and walked across the desert for what felt like hours.
How cool is that sequence though? And remember when that came out years and years ago, and that was
It was really cool. It tripped me up actually. It was like in one of the big wide cinematic shots, and you just like a little dot on the screen. I was just sitting there waiting for something to happen, and then I looked and went, "Oh shit, I'm gonna do this!" It totally caught me out. I was probably sitting there for a solid minute or two. I was like, "Hey, it's happening. I'm waiting." And then I bumped the thing. I'm like, "Oh, I have to move." Gotcha. Genius, smart. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. It's been a lot of fun. There's no real qualms with it so far. It's been pretty good. I'm enjoying the series as a whole. Still, the massive story gaps kind of bug me a bit, but that's. I guess.
Yeah, well, you're gonna see those easily because you're playing them back to back.
Exactly. Everyone else had
wait fucking 4 years for the game.
4 years to come between each one. Yeah.
So no one even cared.
I've been playing Apex Season 5 as well. I've been suckered back into that a little bit.
How's that going?
It's alright. They've got like
is it the game that just keeps kind of ticking along?
Yeah, it is. It's totally like Season 5 had like new legend Loba, who basically can steal loot from a certain area with her ultimate and do a few cool things with that. And then they buffed and nerfed a few things. Good sandbox change, which was a bit weird. They've changed some things that are a little bit questionable in there. And they've added like this. I'm not sure what it is yet because it hasn't unlocked. But apparently there's like a PvE, there's like a story mode that's happening on the side. So each day you've got to go, you play one game and you go to, and you pick up like this little chest thing that you get out of like the main storage containers.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 5 of those, and then you unlock the next story part. And the first story part was just a text readout. Like you went through, it was like a whole scene with all the different characters in a room discussing what was happening. And then, what happened following the events of Season 4 through to Season 5. And then apparently there's like a PvE story mission that unlocks tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
If you have all the tokens, you can go and play it. Yeah, so I've been playing that because I'm really interested to see how that turns out.
Are they going similar to Blizzard with Overwatch, you think?
Yeah, they have very much with the in-game lore.
Pretty big narrative through those games. So.
Yeah, there's been a constant narrative. Like all the legends that are there have generally interacted with each other throughout the lore in one circumstance or not. Like Revenant, who is one of the newer heroes from last season, is tied in with Loba. He kills her parents when she was young. She witnessed that, so she's chasing him. So there's a whole larger narrative going through with lots of little kind of interconnected things between each character as well, which is really, really cool to see.
Yeah, sweet.
But yeah, so I'm interested to see what this PvE mode is. I'll know more tomorrow. Hopefully it's good. Even if it's just a little mission, that'd be sweet. Because Respawn do fantastic mission structures. I like to see what they do with the legends, especially with the movesets and stuff that they have, and what they do with like Titanfall 2 and stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%. They're quite gifted at the single player stuff.
They are, yeah. I mean, I think I was reading something earlier. They've now got they've made a small studio just to work on Apex now, and that's it. They're branching off into a separate thing for Apex, and then they're going to be working on more stuff. So I'm assuming there'll be another Fallen Order on the way, maybe another new IP. There was rumors of a Titanfall being cancelled or something. 3 was being cancelled. They were looking at working on it, and then they stopped working on it. There's a whole smoke and mirrors thing going on there too.
I think they shit canned the whole Titanfall thing and been greenlit for another 2 more Star Wars. They want to turn the EA want to turn the Star Wars one now into a trilogy.
A trilogy.
The first one being Star Wars. A fucking roaring success, and yes, it's a Star Wars game. It's got to come in 3s.
Exactly, it has to.
Or 9s. Who knows?
Oh god, could just 3.
Hey.
I mean, I'm good for a whole set of stories, but
I would take 9 stories from Respawn in Star Wars, as long as they fix a few things.
Definitely.
I mean, I thought it was pretty.
Yeah. And
so that's it, eh?
No, I had one more. I played a bit this week. I played a demo for a game on Steam called Rustler, and it's like GTA 2, but in medieval age. Top everything about GTA 2. Like the ridiculousnesses of it, the stupid quotes, like that whole feel. But it's set in medieval times. So like,
right. I need to know more.
Okay, so you start off as like this kind of, you wake up hungover as shit. You've been out partying the night before. I can't remember his name, but you're kind of a drunken thug, a bit of a party animal, young bloke, and when you come to the map, like it scans over the map, and there's like a cow on the roof with horse spray painted on it, and all this kind of weird shit going around, and you've got to go and. You wake up and you're low health, and to get your health up, you have to go scull a bottle of alcohol that's on it was like an ale or something on the floor next to you. So yeah, this is all still top down, and then you just go around doing various tasks for your boss, who's very kind of like mob boss-esque.
Drug dealer.
Yeah, a bit of a drug dealer. Yeah. And I think this is the character about the game. So there's lots of little references in there to lots of other games. And lots of like pop culture references, which was really cool. But they have like the knights, which are kind of like the police. They have the horses. When you're in the trouble, you have like a star rating and everything. When they start chasing you, the horses start flashing blue and red.
Oh, fuck off.
And then there's bards. While you have your own radio station, you can hire bards. And they can get on the horse with you and follow you around, and you can get them to change the song. And there's a bard with a little lute, and I had him playing techno the entire time. It was like, it was fucking fantastic. But yeah, the demo's on Steam at the moment. I had a good few hours with it. The controls were a bit wonky. The player and horse controls are very different. I had trouble with that. But yeah, it was a fantastic game. It was heaps of fun. Well worth checking out if you've got a spare couple of hours.
Yeah, definitely. Has it got a release date or
not yet? Its release date is when it's ready.
Right. Fair enough. No, that's fine. Anything else you've been into?
No, that's it this week. That's
What are you looking forward to playing next week after?
Next week? Work's been weird, so I'm going back to that, so I'm settling into that routine, so I probably won't be playing as much. I want to finish Uncharted 3, definitely this week. I'm sure I will. Maybe start Uncharted 4. Season 5 of Expect stuff. I want to get in that PvE stuff. And then hopefully, maybe I might be picking up Maneater.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that game looks fun as hell.
It does. That's definitely what I'll be playing this weekend. Yeah, I'm definitely.
Is that Friday? Is it something like that?
I think the 22nd. So yeah, Wednesday. 22nd. So I don't know if it's Saturday in Australia, maybe.
Yeah, it might be
22nd in the US. Who knows? Either way, it's out in a couple of days. Hopefully, I get the copy early. Because he said I've got the review code. He's just waiting for it to come through. So it's like, come on, just damn it, because it's already out. Unfortunately, it's already been broken street date. Heaps of places. So the full game is out on YouTube if you're interested, I guess, in going to watch it. It looks quirky. It looks fun. It just looks like a game for the sake of a game.
Yeah.
As a shark that can evolve into a bigger, stronger armored shark and stuff like that.
Just electrical powers and like
it seems interesting. And it's not huge. I think they've already said it's like, maximum 15 hours.
Oh, that's all right though. Like as long as it's,
that's good.
As long as it's a solid 15 hours, it's a good game to play.
Yeah, I think that's a good length. It's that gives you a good couple of good sessions at it. Because I mean, in the end, it'll have to probably, like most games, every game, it would probably get very repetitive.
Yeah.
Oh, the other game I checked out before we go into our deals was Ghost Runner. Did you play that?
Yes, I did. I wanted to talk with you last week, but you weren't here.
How did you like it first?
I fucking loved it.
Yes.
See, look, twinsies, we know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was first. It was just. I mean, I spoke about this a little bit, but it's hard to talk about something when there's not someone there. Like Stormy was here, but he hadn't played it. He'd watched me play it, so he was kind of going off the same beats that I was. But it is just so fluid and fun, and like if you put the Doom music on, like the Doom soundtrack when you play it, oh my fucking god, it was amazing. But it's really simple, but it's done really, really well, and it's really fluid, and it just felt good to play.
Yeah,
and like as someone who isn't as good at mouse and keyboard, I'm fairly below average on it. I started picking it up. It took me a couple of runs, but I started like really getting the hang of the controls. They were really simple and straightforward, and I can see a lot of potential with that game. Just like it's going to be like the world's best game, but it's going to be a good game, and I think it's going to get some really interesting speed runs going through there.
It's going to have a wicked speed running community, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I think my first couple of runs were, obviously terrible because you're learning the controls. It was like 20 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
But as I progressed and got better and better, obviously, I think I got down to 4 minutes.
Shit! Wow.
Yeah.
I think the best. I think I had like 3 runs. The best I got to was about 8 or 9.
No, see, I didn't. Yeah. There's blatant shortcuts that you can take. Like you totally skip entire sections if you can do quirky jumps with it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Same reasons that you just said. It's very fluid and it plays so silky smooth on PC. Holy shit, man. It was so smooth to play. The controls feel really good. They feel tight. They're not loose. Like the whole wall running parkour style system needs to be tight. You can't have it all, loose controls and everything.
Very responsive. It can't be
flowed. Yeah, it's that right amount of giving the player that little bit of extra float when you jump, but also having the weight there that will pull you back down into the right spot. And it feels natural to do. It's not overused and it's not underused. It's hit really well. And then I really like the one-shot death. I really enjoyed that because you respawn super fast, like instantaneous. You die, you respawn, you're running again. Like there's no loading screens. There's no fuck assing about. You're straight back into it. And I found that gave it like a really cool strategic level to beating the sections because you could run it the same way each time and learn from your mistakes. And then on your last run, you nailed it. You run, jump, flip, drop, go around, chop people in half, and then slide through the gap. And it's like, yeah, that felt really cool.
Also, speaking of those enemies, can we just talk about how fucking accurate they are?
Super accurate. they are laser guided, man.
the second follow-up shots comes through so fast too. It's like you just recover. Oh no, I'm dead again.
Yeah,
if you don't move the right way.
You've got to learn that shift button.
And
I got into the habit of just pushing shift, which was really annoying because you just dash forward. You've got to really train your pinky to fucking hold it down and then toggle which way you want to go because that game is so much more control.
Putting that on my mouse.
So I didn't bother rebinding anything, but that's a damn good idea.
Yeah, I had it on the mouse. That was all I had to worry about was slide on the shift, and then and I can just hold that down and spam the living shit out of it.
For everyone listening who does not know, Ghost Runner is it's coming to PlayStation, Xbox, and PC sometime this year. It's 2020 date. There was a demo up on the Steam store that is now gone though. It was only a temporary, it's
gone now.
A one and done thing. Yeah, you're pretty much you play as a cybernetic ninja. You're woken up with this whispers in your head, and you're in a big mega city. It's very cyberpunk. The whole setting, the whole appeal of it is very cyberpunk. And the idea is you are a climber. You're part of a renegade group, and you need to ascend the tower, this gigantic mega tower, to take down, I forget what they're called, the key masters. I think that's it. I know all this because I've done a preview on it, but I haven't been able to fucking record it because I've been sick.
Yeah.
Game looks and feels amazing to play. So first person, think Mirror's Edge, crossed with Cyberpunk, really.
Yeah, if Genji played Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge is if you've played Mirror's Edge, then you'll have a good understanding of what this is about.
Yeah.
Done. Should we move on to some deals?
We should.
This week? All right. let's go and start over with the PlayStation Plus. Again, City Skylines and Farming Simulator 19. Probably a good 2 weeks left on those. Next up, we have PSN deals Mass Effect Andromeda, which is the Deluxe Recruit Edition, for $9.59. I think that obviously the game caught a shit ton of flack, deservedly so, when it released. But for under $10, if you're sitting at home, bored, isolated, that is a pretty good sci-fi story for $10.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you played it?
No, I haven't. I've never really been into Mass Effect. I know I think I played 2 at some point. Borrowed it off a friend. I couldn't get into it. Again, it was years and years and years ago, but I didn't really enjoy it. Yeah,
and not for everyone. But I've played it and beaten it, and for that price, really good. Well worth it. A game you have played though, puppies, is A Way Out for $11.98. What can you tell people about A Way Out?
Get the fucking game for $10, $12 even. just do it. So A Way Out is interesting. It's styled as a couch co-op game, but you can play it online with a friend. They give you like a code, so you don't have to buy it twice, which is really, really cool. And you can share that code with your friend. It's like a demo code they give you, and you can play through the game together, which is perfect for current situation. But you play as 2 guys end up in prison, and you have to help each other break out. And
some would say find a way out.
Yeah, find a way out even. It's very co-op heavy. I think you can play this single player, but I don't know how that would. I think you've got to move because on your screen you see both screens. It's not a full screen of one person, so you see on what your left is doing. One character, right? So you can see what your friend's doing at the exact same time in real time, and so you've got to work together to solve these puzzles and figure out where to go to progress to the next stage. And it's really cool. It's really, really well done. Story in it's really good too. I some of the funnest time. I think I played this with Winky, and we would laughing our ass off the entire time. We were just because you can troll each other pretty hard. There's sections where you jump off a cliff and your friend has to catch you, and you can just totally not catch them and they'll die and have to do it all over again. And it's the funniest shit. But yeah, definitely a game worth picking up. So if you're worried about having to buy it for a friend, you don't have to. Just go out. I'm surprised
you were actually able to drag Winky away from Destiny 2.
I have many powers.
Many powers. Jesus. All right, moving over to Xbox this week. Our games with gold: Warhammer 40k, Inquisitor, Martyr, and V-Rally with Overlord 2. Deals with gold this week: Sid Meier's Civilization for Civilization 6, for $39, and Batman: The Enemy Within for $7.50. Switch, we have Dragon's Dogma: Dark Arisen for $26.56, and Rumbo First Blood for $6. Now,
I know this game.
That is not a typo. I checked it out. It looks pretty good. So obviously it's a ripoff of Rambo First Blood, but you click on it and the first catchphrase that comes up is tactical cleaner action. Something like that, because you're a Roomba. You play as a Roomba.
Yeah.
That goes around the house. Top down. It's a comedy stealth game. And you've got to stop people breaking into the house by setting traps and doing that. It looks funny as.
It is. I remember watching this one get developed. And it looked, it looked funny as hell to play. Just smearing people's blood all over the floor and trying to clean it up and shit.
Yeah, definitely. And Dragon's Dogma too, just on that one. A very, very good game. Dark Souls cross Monster Hunter. If I had to kind of grab 2 other games that are in the same series, definitely check that out. Really, really good. I fucking hope they do another one for next gen, because that would just be fantastic. Over on the Epic Store, holy Jesus, Epic featuring quite heavily this week in our newsreel, but they're also got Grand Theft Auto 5, the premium edition, for free. So this comes with the complete story, Grand Theft Auto Online, and all existing gameplay upgrades and content. You'll also get the Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack, which is the fastest way to jumpstart your criminal empire in GTA Online. The sale ends on the 22nd of this month at 12:30 a.m. So if you want it, log in, add it to your library, bam, it's there. That's
Which is really convenient because it just came off Game Pass too.
Yeah, so it's like Rockstar really pushing this game every way.
The online's keeping them alive, man.
Well, exactly. That online would be raking it. It's smart though. It makes sense. It's like, let's give them a single player game that we don't care about anymore because it came out bloody half a decade ago. And these guys will just keep pumping money into our online casinos. It's ridiculous how successful that game is. I don't play it anymore. Do you still play it?
No. I used to play online for a while. I think I stopped not long after their first expansion pack, which was like the CEO one, which is I think the one they're giving out now. And the heists was the last thing I did, which was cool. Frustrating when it's online and you're trying to matchmake because it's a bit wonky. But yeah, I used to play with friends all the time, and I know there's like a huge, especially on PC, there's a massive roleplay community as well. So if you were ever looking at getting into it, this is the way to go, and it's free, so you can't lose out. And it's the PC version, so
it's huge, isn't it? That role playing thing,
massive, yeah.
And it's just people that roll. You just make a character, and then I don't know. Do you have any understanding?
So
of
what happens is there is a custom server that is made by somebody, whoever, and people can go in. They have a character. They create their character, they create a backstory, name, and then they just go around and interact with the world like it's a normal fucking day. They might have special events on, but like there are some really good characters out there. But yeah, it's really fun to watch too. Just like because a lot of people that will stream it will like go cam off, and it'll just be the character on the screen. So it's really immersive for everyone that's watching as well, and it's just like watching GTA TV. Yeah. But yeah, it's just people like interacting with the world. They might set up some stuff beforehand. They say, oh, hey, we're doing this today. I'm here, blah, blah, blah. This is what I'm doing. They might kind of interact in that way. But it's normally like at least 30 people on a server, at least. Depends. I know I can get a lot more, I think, for memory. But really cool to watch. And if you were ever interested in doing it, DFI is free. So give it a try.
Get amongst it. Get amongst it. Well, let's move into the news this week. Got a fair bit to get through. Are you excited? Are you ready?
Always, never.
Always, never ready?
Always, never ready.
All right. Let's fucking do it. All right. First off, we're going to have the DualSense haptics to let you feel rain and weather in a game, apparently. So, former editor and all-round amazing Aussie, Alana Pierce, hosted a recent roundtable with some developers. And while talking, Mike Bithell let slip with some info regarding the upcoming PS5 controller. During this explanation on sound in a game, Bithell begins typing furiously on his computer, telling the podcast, "I'm just doing the thing where I Google something to see if it's been announced yet," referring to the fact that he has seen and used the PlayStation 5 development hardware, including the DualSense controller for the new console. Dancing around some non-disclosure agreements, Bithell says, "All I am saying is you are going to love what they're doing with the controller on the PS5, the DualSense stuff." Bithell goes on to say that he has seen some demos relating to the haptic feedback, specifically related to raindrops, that imply that the controller will allow you to feel when it's raining in the game or perhaps other environmental effects. While this doesn't reveal a ton of new information beyond what we already know about the DualSense controller, it does confirm that even smaller developers have seen and used the controller, and that they're being given at least tech demos of what the implementation of the haptic technology could look like. What do you reckon, dude?
This is a feature I'll be immediately shutting off.
Yeah,
I hate vibrating controllers. It's the worst. I don't like it.
And if it's going to do,
I mean, it'd be cool to go.
Vibrating. That wouldn't be. That's not totally all vibrating.
Yeah, but it's gonna. I don't know.
It's gonna feel a bit differently.
You feel differently, sure, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel like. Imagine just playing it and you're in a game that's like constant, like, has like rain as like a whole thing, and after a long period of time, I feel like it would just get too much. You know, like it'd be cool for some gameplay moments and stuff like that. But I have I by default turn most vibration and controller movement off, feedback wise. So I mean, I'll try it, but I don't think it's something I'll be sticking with long term just because of who I am.
Fair enough.
But the tech is really cool. I like that.
It'll come down to the developers, what they.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Obviously, how they implement, the tech. Like you said, though, if you're playing fucking Heavy Rain, obviously, you don't want that feeling going through your hands the entire time. Look, I'm skeptical on these things. Like, I love the tech. I love how what it could do, but I've seen too many things, especially on PlayStation side. Speakers in the microphone, in the controller, the 6-axis, all that shit, just not get utilized correctly, efficiently. For whatever reasons, and it just never took off. And I just feel
it's a gimmick that they just tend to flex, and no one really works with it that well. If
they get this tech and they do something really cool with it, and it sticks, like other games, other developers start using it, and they really start to incorporate it into the game, then I'm happy for it. Let's see what it can do. But until that this is just it's another piece of cool tech that probably won't get fucking used.
Exactly.
Moving on then. Epic Games announces the Unreal Engine 5 with a stunning PlayStation 5 demo. Epic Games announced the next iteration of its game engine, the Unreal Engine 5, with a stunning demo running on the PlayStation 5. Epic says the demo showed off what next-gen game consoles will truly be capable of once developers have full access to the creative tools like UE5 and the capability to squeeze the maximum out of the new hardware and software baked into Sony's PlayStation 5 and Microsoft's Xbox Series X. The graphics speak for themselves, and Epic has always pushed the bleeding edge of what's possible, CEO Tim Sweeney tells The Verge. Our goal isn't just to bring more features to developers. The hardest problem in game development right now is building high-quality games takes an enormous amount of time and cost. So what we want to do is make developers' lives easier and more productive. To show off the UE5's capabilities, Epic put together a demo running on the developer's version of PS5 hardware and captured the output. The results showcased incredible visual quality combined with the detail and photorealistic lighting Epic promises its new tools will deliver. According to Kim Librier, Epic's chief technology officer, the next-gen consoles are going to give consumers a quantum leap, and UE5 is another leap on top of that. Go.
It was very pretty. I liked it. I liked that they're making things easier for developers. Like, I'm not a developer. I had no idea what they were talking about on the technical side of things, but it looks like they're going to make it easier to transfer assets into the game without having to kind of mess around too much. But it looked good. I mean, it was very pretty. I mean, it was custom built for that, which is always good. I liked the detail was really, really cool. I don't know, how far do they need to take the photorealism though? Like, it's going to get to a point we're going to start seeing diminishing returns on this. I mean, it's good that they're making things more convenient for the devs now. I think that's fantastic. And it may mean games are made a little faster because there's less hassle with importing things and all that kind of stuff. But man, it was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool.
I think the best thing they showed off that was that new lighting engine, the Lumens, I think it was.
Yeah.
That is a extremely strong contender to ray tracing. It's because it's much more accessible now and not taxing to the hardware. Because ray tracing is like, it's the big fucking buzzword with these two new consoles. Everyone's like, ray tracing this, ray tracing is going to be fucking great. Man, ray tracing barely works on PC. Even with your best PCs that you can buy today, it fucking hardly works properly.
Yeah, people are still
no one turns it on. No one turns it on, other than to take, screenshots and stuff like that, outside of Minecraft, I guess now. So this technology, I feel like the Lumens thing is a really good step in the direction that it might,
usable.
Give developers, something more usable, especially smaller developers who can't afford that massive time sink into trying to work out how to get ray tracing working with such a smaller budget or constraint or whatever it is, that this is baked into their software. The other thing I think is really cool is some of the other tech they showed in there, man, was like, you're playing Uncharted now. Naughty Dog were some of the first developers to, really get that zoom in close to the character, and like, your character will walk through a doorway and they'll put their hand on the doorway, as they're walking through. Like it just feels like more organic. It's not just you just walking through a doorway. They would animate that and put that in, no matter how
that's done in engine now.
Unify can just do that in engine for you. Like that is
exactly,
cool.
And that saves the hassle of like mocapping like arbitrary things like opening a fucking door. Like I said, I'm all for this because it makes, not for like how pretty everything looks, but it's making developers' lives a lot easier. It's simplifying the process for them, which means they get to spend more time on other aspects of the game, which means we can see improvements in other areas as well.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see all the triangles when they flicked it over to
1 billion triangles?
It's like, am I just seeing white noise here? And it's like, no, that's like a gajillion triangles fucking mashed into it.
Remember when it was polycount?
Quite impressive.
No, it's triangles.
Well,
polycount
exactly.
to triangles, man.
And teraflops. Now it's SSD. And
teraflops and triangles.
Terafloppy triangles. Who knows what it would be next gen. I was impressed with the demo. I thought it was really good. The thing I think was the great thing that Sony have done is they've stolen the fucking limelight away from Xbox, and literally didn't have to hardly do a thing other than have Epic say it's running on their system.
Yeah, exactly. Especially after
the monumental fail of the previous week with their fucking next gen gameplay experience. You're going to see it all, and you don't see shit.
Yeah,
they literally come out and give you a tech gameplay demonstration of what both consoles are going to do. They're both going to be able to do it and run this, but Epic it's on a PlayStation 5 for how much they ever got paid or whatever it is to say that. I thought it's quite a
it was pretty funny.
Smart move by PlayStation.
Like PlayStation haven't done anything really yet except show us a controller and slap a logo on something.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is also supporting my theory about PlayStation buddying up with Epic Games in the final war over everything. It would be Microsoft and Steam versus PlayStation and Epic.
It could be, but then I was thinking that as well. But Horizon Zero Dawn is on Steam, going to Steam. So maybe not. It would make sense if that was an exclusive to Epic.
Yeah,
you could see that kind of being a thing. I don't think that would really get very far.
No,
you'd want to go on Steam. Very interesting. Next up, Ghost of Tsushima. You heard about this game before? Finally got some really good gameplay on it. Oh man, this game! All right, Ghost of Tsushima gameplay details are finally out in the wild after years of anticipation, thanks to the latest state of play broadcast from PlayStation. With 18 minutes of footage that showcase exploration, combat, stealth, customization, and even details for an impressively kitted out photo mode. It was definitely worth the wait. There was more than enough detail in the video to pour over from now to Ghost of Tsushima release date in July 17th, though developer Sucker Punch teased that it has so much more to show in the future. The open world adventure looks as deep as it is beautiful, using the history of feudal Japan for inspiration, and looks set to be one of the last big blockbusters for the PlayStation 4 before the PS5 muscles its way into the limelight at the end of the year. In Infamous, you explore powers. In this game, we let you explore what it is to be a samurai inside of this enormous landscape of medieval Japan, says creative director Nate Fox. Jin Saka has a katana, grappling hook, and his faithful horse to help him, but taking on one of the most intimidating armies in history is still guaranteed to be a challenge. Most definitely. What do you think of the gameplay, man? Give me your raw impressions.
Right, so I think we spoke about this a little bit on Twitter. The gameplay looks really good. I like the summon the wind, because when they were talking about like not having any like game markers on the map originally when we were first talking about this game, I was like, okay, that's fine, but having that aid there where you can press the button to summon the wind to kind of give you a direction to go, for your waypoint and stuff, which is really cool. I like the integration of the animals as well, showing you points of interest. I thought that was a really neat way of blending it into the world. It's all very blended. Like, it doesn't feel much like a game.
No, it feels very natural. It looks very natural.
It looks very natural, yeah, so it's all kind of built in. The combat looked, for me, kind of simple, which isn't a bad thing. I was kind of expecting something maybe a little complex, and I could be wrong. I could be interpreting things differently. I know you have a different viewpoint to me as well, but it looked very kind of press button to win, especially in that first challenge fight. When the guy kind of walked up, he's like, "Fight me!" Which was totally badass. But it didn't look like, gameplay-wise, much happened there. Like, we were talking about the stances.
Do you want me to tell you what I saw with that? Actually, keep going. Give me everything you got.
I'll keep going through. So with the stances, I looked into this a bit more. So each stance helps you do better damage to certain enemy types. That's how that works. Certain enemy types are more vulnerable to certain damage type, which is cool. I'm assuming you have 4 different stances depending if you're doing stealth or the samurai. So there might be like 8 different stances. I know it'll be all based off the mythology as well. But as far as the stealth gameplay, it looked really cool. Felt kind of Assassin's Creed, which is fine. It did. Yeah. I was like, oh look, assassination. Oh look, smoke bomb. But it looks smooth. I'm hoping that stealth mechanic is really good too, because sometimes stealth mechanics can be a bit odd. But it looked good. Yeah, it was just that first fight, it bugged me. I don't know why, but it just seemed too simple. Like, I don't know if it was a button combination press you had to do before, or if it was a chance thing, or it was like you have this percentage of chance to win the fight, and you see how you go. But it didn't it was very quick. The dodge ability was cool, where it slows down. Like, when you dodge, you kind of slow down a bit, and I think it gives you an ability to do the thing. But I really don't want the combat to be like parry and hit to win, which is what it kind of seemed like for a little bit there for me.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. I did see the developer must have been someone who knew the gameplay. Said that combat sequence that we saw was perfected. So they nailed it. Like,
right,
it was very choreographed to show what they wanted to show. I think that's because if you look at the whole theme of kind of what they showed in that 18 minutes, it felt very cinematic. They went into detail about, you can swap it to, full Japanese voiceover, which is going to be fantastic.
And black and white mode as well.
Black and white mode as well. It just looked like those really cool old samurai movies. I think that's what they were going for. I don't think they wanted to show off the big hack and slash side of what combat could very well. And that's why I don't think they showed much traversal either. They didn't show Jin really flipping around and throwing his grappling hook much and stuff like that. We've seen that one little quick glimpse of him jumping around a cliff, like, that looked very very Assassin's Creed, like you said.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing either. Like, if it is, no,
definitely not.
The stealth, like that kind of combat in the Assassin's Creed it's good. It feels good to play.
Yeah, definitely. If they can get that Assassin's Creed feeling, like exploring the world, but get rid of all those fucking way markers that are in Assassin's Creed that just clutter your entire HUD and just remind you every 10 seconds that you're playing a video game. If they can get rid of that, have decent combat, I reckon
it's gonna be a cracker of a game, man.
Definitely onto a winner. That setting, I'm excited for it. Like, between this and the Vikings coming up, I'm getting feudal Japan and Vikings in 1 year, in the same year, both in open world. Going to be pretty deep, complex games. So that's freaking amazing. And did you see that? The customization looks sick. How many different outfits and all the stuff you can wear.
You can dye it too. You've got to collect the flowers to dye it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is really, really nice. The armor was an interesting point as well. So it's going to work where armor gives you certain perks. I think one of the ones we saw was you automatically heal out of combat. I think a lot of that kind of stuff is, again, similar to the way the Odyssey armor works. Yeah, it's not leveled, but each you can get different perks to apply to armor, and different armor does different things. So there'll be some really cool builds there you'll probably be able to manage.
So the more you think about it, I honestly think that's like the way they're showing the game off is on purpose. They're going for like they want to show you like they don't want to show you the gamey side of it, like the stats and the bits and pieces and all the crafting and the shit that that's going to be in the game, but they're definitely going for the more movie-esque approach to selling, and I think that works really well. I think that works really well. But like you touched on, the environmental things that just the triggers and stuff like that, having animals and the wind that guides you and stuff. That is, I like that. That's new.
It's really clever.
It's a bit of innovation. It's very clever, and it's just like
it's not exactly complex either. It's very simple.
Yeah, well, it looks simple. Well, again, we're not developers.
Yeah, we're not developers.
But I understand where you're coming from.
It's not like I have to do this, and this to get this going. Press a button, go this way. I mean, it's been a lot of games in different ways. Like Dead Space had the line on the ground and stuff that you used to follow. Yeah,
exactly.
But it's good that they've got that there for just that little bit of help, because you can totally opt out of it.
Anything like that immerses the player a lot more, I think, is a challenge that developers are really trying to take on more as these games evolve, as well as making them look pretty. It's more, it's how do you get the player to sit down with the controller, and by the time they stop, it's been 10 hours. It's like, holy shit, what happened? Like, I've just been fully pulled into this world. Like, they're the moments that I think they want people to have, and that's
I think that's what we need this gen, is just more immersion.
Yeah, bring us in.
I mean, gaming games are cool, but we need some really good immersive, especially with story stuff, right? Like, you need that really good immersive world to go with the story. Because the story can be good, but if the world's crap, it's not as good.
I'm looking forward to just exploring that world. I've already seen like there's big forts and castles and stuff for you to infiltrate, and you can do everything is either full. You can do full stealth, or you can go full samurai. The stealth, the ghost gen is what they're calling it. The E looks fucking badass, man. Like you said though, I hope they nail the stealth and it's not really gimmicky. Like I hope there's some cool stuff that they can do with it. But yeah, that looks fucking cool. It looks like Tenchu, getting some mad little Tenchu vibes there with the little grappling hook and whatnot. Yeah. I'm down. Definitely. I think because I've had The Last of Us spoiled for me now, I'm more excited for this game than The Last of Us.
That's understandable. Honestly, I'm more excited for this than The Last of Us, and I haven't been spoiled. I think mostly because it's a fresh IP and something not wildly different, but it's a fresh IP. And like Last of Us would be great, but I mean, I waited like 4 years to play it, and I was okay with it.
Have you played Infamous?
No, it's another one I haven't got, but I'll eventually get to play.
I was having a talk with Black Rage, fond listener of the cast, and in our Discord, and she's quite knowledgeable on the whole samurai lore, I guess. She's quite knowledgeable, it turns out. And we were having a discussion because it's Infamous Sucker Punch. In Infamous, in those games, it was about power, but there was a karma system. There was good and bad. And from that, you could have two different, very distinct gameplay styles and two very different endings that would affect both games. And depending on what you went, you could be evil Cole or good Cole. And we're wondering how, if Sucker Punch, because they're really good at doing that, are they going to bring that back into, are they going to weave that into this game through, you've got the samurai mode, which is honorable, facing enemies, killing them, or you've got more guerrilla tactics and being a ghost, which is not being a samurai.
So maybe you can.
So maybe there are two options you get to play with, and a karma system is built into that. Would be really cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'd like that. I always like the karma system. It's always interesting. It gives people different stories to tell when we can play the same game, like we both play it, and we have totally different experiences, which I think is really, really cool. And I like that in big games, especially open world games like this. You make all those different choices. And like with Odyssey, it's the same thing. I know this one we both played. The different choices you make, there's like 7 different endings.
Does there?
They vary. It's mostly just variants, but your choices in side quests or certain quests that you would not be aware of early in game affect who's around in the end game,
right?
And who's on your side and stuff. It's really cool. Something like that would be.
It's going to be a lonely end game for me in Odyssey because my dude is an asshole.
Yeah,
just killing everyone.
Everyone died in mine as well, and people were like, "Oh, I had the whole. I had everyone there." I'm like, "Oh, whoops."
Crickets. Yeah, everyone was there at mine too. Hey guys.
Yeah, it was fine.
Back on Ghost. Yeah, very much. If they can implement the karma system like that, like they did with the previous Infamous games.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, just another level of detail, and I'm interested to see how much more they're going to show of it. I assume we're probably going to see another pretty decent gameplay chunk.
I think we'll see something a little more on the technical side of the gameplay next. Like they've shown us the cinematic of this. They'll show us like how the builds work or something, how the armor works or something like that.
Which would be cool. I would
like an in-depth in combat, just to kind of give us a bit of... Not too much, though, because there's something about discovering how things work, too, that's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Just kind of, a nice good look at the combat, I think, is what I need now. But I'm pretty sold on the game so far.
Oh, definitely. A fantastic way for sending out a console with a brand new IP.
Yes.
It's what Sony are extremely good at, because last time they sent the PS3 out with The Last of Us as a brand new IP. So
yeah,
pretty good. Getting all these games all the way up right until the fucking death. Until the death. So next we have Epic Game Store apparently offers partial refunds if a game you bought goes on sale. So have you ever bought a game digitally only for it to go on sale just a few days later? Annoying, right? Epic Game Store is reportedly streamlining the process of returning and repurchasing a game so the buyer can take advantage of late-breaking discounts with a new automated system, which appears to have been rolled out without the usual fanfare. You recently placed an order from Epic Game Store, an email reads, "The price of the game or games you have purchased was recently lowered, so we are issuing a partial refund for the difference." Previously, the Epic Game Store encouraged players to refund and repurchase any games that went on sale post-purchase in its official refund policy. Steam's refund policy includes a similar provision. As you can probably tell by the text of the email that was just read, Epic Game Store now appears to be fully automate this process.
Cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
I would really like it. Amongst all
the
this,
fact that it's automatic.
Yeah, automatic is like, I mean, the less man hours I can spend on doing something like that, it's smart. I just really want Epic to get a cart in their store. That would be fantastic. Having to buy the games individually. They don't have a cart. After all this time, they still don't have a fucking shopping cart, man. It's like in development. I'm like, it's a fucking shopping cart. It's like everyone has one. Wish.com has one. You'll be fine.
Only Barry is working on this. Okay, leave Barry alone.
Barry.
Everyone else is on Fortnite and Unreal Engine 5. Barry is doing is in charge of the Epic Game Store.
But as it stands, you have to individually buy the games. Like, buy it and go back, find your other game, purchase it, go back, find your... If you're purchasing multiple, if you purchase them too quickly, it'll like say, no, hold on, you're purchasing them too fast. It's like some
Hang on, how many games do you buy at once?
Not that many. Like, it's mostly like the few free, when you go for the free ones. And you're like, there's like 2 or 3 for that week. Yeah.
You still got to do it for that too.
Yeah, right. You still got to do it for that as well.
Because I don't think I've ever gone to a digital store, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, any of them, and bought multiple games in once. Like, load up my shopping cart with my digital games. And
hit Steam sales, right?
Oh, you can understand.
You buy 2 or 3 games, yeah. And like Epic has fantastic sales on all the time and really good deals. And the freebies, you go to pick up a game and there's like a good freebie there as well.
I didn't think of the freebies. Yeah, you got to check them all out. And then, right. Oh, fucking Barry better get onto it because...
But this is... Aside from that, this is a rant. This is really cool. I like this. This is nice. It's, hey, yeah. I'd be interested to see what the time window is. Is it like a week or 3 days or a month? That wouldn't be a month. Yeah. A month is way too far. It'd have to be somewhere around a week. A year, yeah, just probably. This game you bought 9 months ago is on sale. We're giving you a refund for part of it. Yes.
Yes, I'm getting the fucking full price of Sinking City back again.
What if it goes as a freebie? What
maybe
happens
you get it
then?
for free. Who knows?
I
Um, weren't Epic Store the anti-consumer store? Wasn't that the narrative everyone was spilling about, talking about versus fucking Steam, and because they were buying exclusives and shit like that?
Oh, I don't think anti-consumer is the right word, but they were being dicks about everything. Yeah, there's like they had this very kind of self-righteous tone to how they were doing things. Like, we're gonna come in, we're gonna change all this, and they were kind of painting Steam as a bad guy, and yeah, which is, I mean, they came in and just dominated with buying shit.
Poor
And
Gabe.
that kind of upset people a little bit.
Gabe
Especially since this is like really the first time PC have seen exclusivity deals between stores.
Yeah, definitely.
In a major way. And I think that going with everything else and then forcing, no, you've got to use our store, you can't just buy this anywhere. I think that's what upset people the most to start out with. They were just very forceful about how they did it, but while trying to paint themselves as the good guy as well.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was more about the attitude and the way they did things. But yeah.
Well, they're doing things right now by automating this process. Just, because you can guarantee, like, I've been burnt by buying a game, and then the following day it is on sale. Like, and they just like slashed 50% off, and you're like, really?
I've had that. I bought a game and then it went on Game Pass. That was like a single player one. I'm like,
shit.
Fuck.
Damn you, Microsoft. So that is cool then. So yeah, if you do that, then there's no fear for it. We don't know the time though. Like you said, most likely a week. You wouldn't see it going
any further than that.
No. Then they would be the most pro-consumer company around. Next up, it's been a while since we've covered some Destiny 2. So we had to cover it on the cast. And what better way than by Bungie fucking up again?
Oh, Bongo.
Oh, here we go. So, after grinding all weekend, Destiny 2 players find a quest-breaking bug. That was their reward. Introduced in last week's reset, the Lie is a multi-step quest, the first of which required players to collectively grind through this season's Seraph Towers public events on Earth, Io, and the Moon, and a combined total of, wait for it, 9 million times that fucking public event.
As a community. Shit. Not individually, as a community, but that is a lot.
So, there was just one problem. Barely anyone wanted to do it. At the rate players were going a day into the event, it seemed like they might not finish it before the season even ended. So Bungie swooped in to grease the wheels. The public event was made slightly easier, and each completion was made to count for 5 and a 10 on the weekend. So many players responded by getting to work, running Seraph Towers after Seraph Tower after Seraph Tower. Some ran the activity hundreds of times. Last night, the deed was finished. The players who stood on the sidelines applauding the more committed Seraph grinders, the jubilation was short-lived, however, with players soon discovering that the latest step in the quest was bugged. Following the community-wide completion of the towers, the Lie required players to investigate broken equipment on an abandoned Crucible map. They then needed to individually get 1,000 kills with a shotgun or 100 in PvP. Considering what some have just been through, these portions look like a breeze by comparison. Unfortunately, after getting the shotgun kills, the players were supposed to go see Rasputin to get their next objective. But instead of starting the final leg of the quest, players are being transported to Erismon's encampment on the moon with no update to the quest status. At first, some players thought that this was the usual mysterious setup, requiring players to sniff out further clues. Bungie confirmed the quest was bugged. If you respawned at Eris when interacting with the Lie quest node on the moon, you are in a bugged state. The game's community manager said on Twitter, "We will investigate first thing in the morning and get you updates ASAP."
These poor guys. This particular season has been really bad for things being broken or bugged. Numbers of exotics have been sidelined at least once for either a weekend or just a whole week in some cases, or just a couple of days. There's been so many problems with this particular season. And given that the Seraph Towers that they're doing like a public event, I'm not sure how they work exactly, but they've been a constant theme throughout the last season. Like, do these Seraph Towers to get things, and then they threw this on top, and people was like, no, please, no more. We've done enough.
I can't take any more. It's man, Bungie just can't take a trick, can they? This is it is not. It's not been a good time for them. And unfortunately, everyone's like, yes, Activision, you big bad bastards, you've gone. That's it. It's it's unshackled Bungie. Let's see what their creative brain can actually do without being hamstrung by a evil overlord. Turns out, not much.
Not much.
Not much at all. If anything, it's gone way downhill. And even worse. Yeah, you'd have to think if the game wasn't free to play, like it is now, which you can play it anywhere.
Yeah.
How healthy of a state do you think the game would be in now?
I don't know. Definitely not as good as it is now. Because I know a lot of people in the Destiny community who have stopped playing now. They're done. Like people that have been playing, it's like season after season, content drop after content drops. I know I'm done. I can't anymore. And I get that. I went through the same thing myself a lot earlier on. But
we both did because we both did.
Both
been very advocates of Destiny 2. We've logged in thousands of hours. Like, it's a game that we would game all the time on. It's something that I think we both kind of dropped off at about the same time as well. We haven't really gone back to explore some of these.
I think the last time I played was the last raid. Came out. I did that one.
Okay, so that's a while ago.
Yeah. So I stopped playing after that. It was a Season of the Undying. I think it was. Not long after that. I got the Undying title, and then
that's what I did. Yeah. That's when I finished as well. Season of the Undying. With that fucking Hive Mind thing, you had to keep running over and over with all the weapons. I can't believe you got that title. Well done.
It took a minute.
What? What do they do? Because they're having big dramas with trials and hackers.
Yeah, lots of cheaters in trials, huge. Which is scaring people off PvP. There's been a lot of discussions.
Trials was arguably what kept Destiny 1 alive, and really, really alive, especially on the weekends on Twitch. It was huge. Because people were going to the lighthouse, getting carries, and it really brought up a heap of streamers that are big now, and YouTubers, because that's where they came from doing that. It's not working this time, though.
No, they've I think with again Destiny being free to play, that has drawn a lot of cheaters because I've been banned, make a new account. I've been banned, make a new account. So that's kind of been the process, and it's pretty bad at the moment because the player base is again so small at the moment. I think compared to the end of Destiny 1 trials, we're seeing about a quarter of the player base playing trials, if that.
Really?
Yeah, it's really low.
Jesus.
So being the pool is so small and the cheaters are so predominant, they're just sticking out like sore thumbs, and everyone is seeing them. I know Bungie are probably working on a fix, but they seem to be taking a long time to do it. Hopefully, it means they're doing something really good. But I mean,
do you think
how long does it have to go on before?
Do you think we're going to see Destiny 3 this year, or we'll see another expansion?
I think there's already talk of another expansion, main story, like they normally do, like the big expansion.
Yeah, like a Taken King,
Taken King Forsaken kind of thing. At the end of this year, but I think after that, they're gonna have to do something fresh. I don't know if they can carry on. Like, it may just be they need a Destiny 3 to reboot. I think.
See, they're also
they're at a point where there's so much bloat in there too now. And they're talking about sunsetting weapons because everyone's still using the same weapons from Season 1, which is fair. It's also upset a lot of people.
It's pissing off a shitload of people. But like, you can see why, but it's like, man, you've got to... I wish that because I love the PvP so much, I wish they had 2 totally different sandboxes.
Yeah, I think that would be the better way to do it.
Split those sandboxes. You just got your PvP side with your PvP weapons. That's it. Like that they don't work in PvE, or they do, but they're useless. Or you can't bring them into PvP. Do something because they're just. It sounds like they're really struggling also to balance weapons correctly. Because you're getting really super strong, overpowered guns in the PvE side, trying to drag that in and tame it, I guess, to PvP. It's just I don't know.
They've always had trouble with balance.
Yeah, definitely. That's because they've
got
I know sandbox.
I know that they've said, like, we want guns to be powerful for a while, and they rotate out, change the sandbox. But it's like most of the time the guns are just really broken, and they just hammer them really hard, and then they're useless, and then something else is just really strong. There's always a leader of the pack happening, but it's not just, it's way over.
Yeah,
it's head and shoulders above everything.
Yeah, exactly. There's always a very, very strong meta within Destiny. Every time. What do you think they're going to do with Destiny 3? Because I see them going to be having an issue, because chances are they're obviously going to be chasing at least 60 frames a second moving forward. You would hope so.
On consoles,
On consoles. If it is crossplay with the previous gen, which for all intensive purposes it probably will be.
Yeah.
Balancing that as well is also just going to be another fucking wrench for them to deal with, especially in PvP. You can't having people go with 60 frames a second going up against people with 30 is just another tough pill to swallow, I guess, if you're playing on those lower consoles. Do you reckon they launch the expansion pack that's supposedly coming this year? Do you think they're pulling that out of 3?
No.
Like they did with Rise of Iron? Because Rise of Iron was supposed to be in Destiny 2, wasn't it? And they ripped it out of that to stick it in as its own individual expansion.
That I'm aware of. I don't remember that being the case.
I'm pretty sure it was. There was something about that's what it was supposed to happen, but they wanted more time to work on it. On the end game of Destiny 2. So they said, right, well, we've got to have a major expansion for that release, because they'd gone another 6 months, a year or whatever without anything. Do you think that's what they could be doing that again to stretch it out a little bit longer?
Possibly. There's been talk. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about Destiny 3. Nothing ever confirmed though. So I don't think we'll see anything. We might see an announcement in 12 to 14 months that they're working on something, like, just the start of it. If that happens, I mean, or they could, this expansion could tie everything up, and that'll be. I don't think they'd finish it off. They'd have to continue it somewhere. But I think they need a new game
story to tell. And surely
there is so much there with Destiny 2, and I'm cool for another expansion. That's fine. They already have that planned, but I'd really like to see a new game. They can start again from scratch, redo the engine, not redo the engine, but retool the engine, working cross-play. Have separate sandboxes for PvE and PvP, all those kind of things that are holding them back now because they committed to it so early on. And just another fresh start to see what they could do.
Would you go free to play or paid? There is a fucking stigma that comes with free to play.
And I don't like it. It's hard, like, cause as a brand new game, what do you do? Like with Destiny 2, changing to free to play made sense, for a while. They changed the way the monetary worked. Honestly, I'd like, if it's a new game, I'd be happy for like a standalone thing, expansion packs. They go back to doing 3 monthly DLCs or whatever, like just proper DLCs. But I mean, if they go free to play, it's going to limit them so much. I think. I can't see them.
Can they go backwards now or forwards? Backwards, forwards. I don't know. So they've gone from a paid program, paid model, with live service elements baked into that, half baked in. They weren't very good with their silver program and their Eververse shit. They've gotten in trouble over that type of stuff. Then they went to free to play. Same thing, still got the Eververse involved, but that kind of makes a bit more sense now. could you then go Destiny 3, right, we're going back to what we did, you're going to pay $199, whatever. Plus we're going to have, the battle pass thing, the season pass, whatever it is. Do you reckon they could go back to that?
Maybe. It's a hard sell, man.
I don't know any game that has. Do you? Like, I'm not saying they can't do it. I don't know any big AAA game that's done that. That's gone paid, free to play, back to pay.
Paid, yeah. I think it'll be a tough sell.
I think what you said though, with having a new engine, like if they came out and made the game look sparkly, brand new, like wow, this is not an expansion. This feels completely like different, brand new game. Like, all right, maybe then they could get people to swallow that. Fucking all right, you're paying us for it.
Even if it's like, I mean, maybe if it's not a full price game. So you pay. It's the monetization is so tricky. Like either way, you end up the bad guy, and they're in such a tough spot because they have been going for so long. Like you should you keep it free and that's fine. You keep your battle staff pass and all that crap in there, or you go paid and you get rid of everything. It's a single price. Expansions down the line, you pay for them separately, like $20.
Give me that. Give me that model.
I would be down for that.
I want that. I know that it does sound old school, but fucking that it works so well, and it's just I think that is a much better model and program for them to follow. Do you think Activision, being the quite successful company that they are, do you think they saw the writing on the wall with this game? And Bungie,
maybe
they just saw like, look, we can't envisage like this going anywhere. You're stuck in a rut. You're going to be permanently stuck in said rut. We're out. We don't want to. We don't want to give up because they coughed up a lot of money. Like surely they've made it back, but they did pay a lot of money for that game. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to like see behind the closed doors on that one and see actually what went down and who said what and how much was. Because I know that the Bungie devs were frustrated with Activision kind of overlording them pretty hard. And maybe this is just a case of, we can do what we want now, and then them kind of getting out the gate and go, well, fuck. This isn't as cruisy as we thought it was going to be.
This is scary.
Yeah. And maybe this is like, what are we on this? The second season pass now? They've been at this for like just over a year since they split. Is that about right? Less than?
Yeah. I guess so. Like, I hate their models, man. I hate their season pass bullshit, so I just don't support it. I hate it.
I can maybe it's just them finding their feet. It's taking them a while. Who knows? It's hard to tell. But yeah, I think with D2, I'd like to go back to like a single payment and DLC port. I mean, even if it is every 6 months, you play the PvP. Just for the hell of it, and you don't have like you used to have some live events or whatever, but I don't know. It's a hard one to call. I'd like a fresh game though. I think that might get me interested in coming back.
I'll be definitely interested. If their next announcement is look, we've got the the next Forsaken DLC. It's you're getting big 10-12 hours worth of story or whatever it is, plus all the other bits and pieces that come with it. I'm back in. Like, yes. If they come out and their announcement is, season 11, 12, 13, this is our roadmap, it's like, all right, well, call me when you're done and show me what you've got in another 6 months, and then I might come back and play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I love their stories. I love their missions. I think they're fantastic. There's some light mechanics in there that work really well, especially when you're playing by yourself and you're matchmaking. I think they need to go back to that.
It is.
There's so much lore there, and they do a lot of it in the seasons. But I think those story missions are always so good.
Yeah, there is. They are very good at it. You won't find much more of a better shooter than Destiny.
Yeah,
it is up there with the best. It is such a good game, such a good series. They've really lost their fucking way this last year. Damn it, man! Fix it, bring it back, get us back to where we were. And I'll be happy.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's about it, mate. We've reached the end of our news segment. It's a pretty beefy episode.
It was.
It's good to be back.
It's quite thick. It's good to have you back, man.
It's girthy. as they
Girthy.
say. Love some girth. Rightio. Where can people find you, Mr. Puppies, on a regular day-to-day basis?
On a regular day-to-day basis, out my front lawn, yelling at people driving past like idiots. You can find me on Twitter at deft_puppies and also on mixer.com/deft_puppies. What about you, Graham? Where are you these days?
I'm just on Twitter mostly, and also over on the YouTubes at Grey Aussie Gamer. Very easy to find. Go over there and have a look. You can also find us, both of us, on Twitter at left_pod. You can also go over to YouTube where you can catch the replay of this live show if you missed it. Just search for Two Left Thumbs podcast and it should pop up there. You also find us live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Every Tuesday night on Mixer at mixer.com/deft_puppies. That is it. We hope you enjoy your evening, enjoying your isolation. We'll be back next week with hopefully both of us playing Man-Eater.
Maybe. Oh, and Man-Eater, yeah.
Corrections of that. That should be good. Other than that, it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.